Hey, welcome to AmberWorks podcast. Once again, here we're just post Christmas here, which is great. That was yesterday, so we're just going to knock one out here. It's going to be relatively random, which is good. We like to operate that way. So we're gonna touch on a few subjects here, just kind of let this thing get flowing and be kind of cool. We're going to talk about the holidays in general from a fitness standpoint and a nutrition standpoint, of course. And we're going to talk about the new year coming up, what people are going to be doing, the resolutionaries, as we call them, and what we're going to see in the gyms and the people out there, and what they're going to be trying to attempt to make happen in the year to come, 2014 here. So excited about that. We are actually excited about 2014. From us, it's a big year for us, and we're looking for a lot of growth and everything else. Is a lot of fun, and just continue to do these podcasts. Jake and I here. By the way, I am Richard, and this is Jake. In case you're brand new, first time you're watching this. But yeah, 2014 is going to be awesome, and we want to help you to kind of get through. You may have resolutions. You may have, you're going to do this year, that, this and that. All the kind of different stuff that people always set out. They got great intentions. January 1st is a great intention month for the year. Most people have pretty much bagged it by the end of the month.
It's the new year, new me motto, right?
Right. We've all seen it. If you've been in the gyms, you've seen it. If you're a regular go to the gyms, regular fitness, you see that big influx of people. You cannot get a treadmill, no matter what. Most of the cardio equipment. If you lift, it's not so bad. Occasionally, you got people on the way and leaving their
Oh
stuff
no, the bench press machine is always taken.
Yes.
Always will be taken the first 2 weeks.
That's true. Yeah, it's never been a main focus of mine. Yeah, so that's very true. And then you see by the third week in January, they're pretty much gone. They probably dwindle by 50-60% of those people who began those great intentions. And then by second week in February, they're gone. And I see maybe 1 or 2% of the people who began those resolutions will be there next January, next December. They'll still be coming to the gym. I've seen it. Spent a lot of years in the gym, working, training, everything else. So I've just seen quite a bit. And those people who do that 1%, they're it for life. They've made that complete commitment, that full lifestyle change, and it's pretty cool to see. You see them change shape, size, their nutrition may get on track. They may just be super consistent in the gym, and you'll see the results they get, which is really fantastic. So kudos to that 1%. But man, we got to get those numbers up. It's got to be way up. People gotta. And I think one of the big problems with people for the new year is their expectations. I think they said, I'm going to work out. I get people all the time. I go, how often do you want to work out? Well, I'm going to come 5 days a week, maybe even 6. And I just, no, you're not.
No.
I just tell them straight up, no, you're not. And they look at me like I'm crazy because I'm a trainer and I should be wanting them to come 5-6 days a week and work out and all this stuff. And it's so unrealistic. People just get this. I said, how often do you go to the gym now? Well, I don't. Right. So you're going to go from 0 to 5 or 6 days a week on a consistent basis. Why?
It's because all these YouTube videos they watch, they see all these, six-pack ab guys. 30-minute six-pack abs, and they're like, all right, well, I just got to go do it 6 times a week. They don't realize the suffering you go through after that first week even. It's just brutal. Of 3 times a week, it's just brutal.
Right, I think they don't, and it's okay. They don't know, they don't get it, they don't understand what this work is. They see people doing this stuff, and there's a great video we've seen that's 20-minute anything. 20-minute anything.
20-minute anything.
You see them with great abs, a great butt, a great whatever. They didn't get it in 20 minutes. Okay, so that's just the way it is. There's we do phenomenal 35-minute workouts, stuff like that's all good, but it's not like, they make it sound like you're going to work out like 20 minutes, a couple for a week or two, and you're going to be all set, and you're going to look amazing. And you're just not. I got news for you. It just doesn't happen that way. So it's about consistency. So I always tell people, why don't you start at 3 days a week getting into the gym instead of 5, and do that like more than once a week. More than 1 week in a row, I should say. And if you come in 4 days a week or 5 days a week, that's a bonus. It's huge. It's awesome. Okay, you've done that much better. But your responsibility is 3 days a week. Okay, you do that, you're successful. Because if you say you're going to do 5 days a week, and you come in, you do that the first week, and you just feel awful because you've killed yourself for 5 days in a row.
Right.
The next week you do 4 days a week. What happens? What does that mean? It means you're a failure.
You failed. You failed yourself.
you know, and you're going to tell yourself, "Oh, I can't do it." And then the next week, maybe you get back up to 5 again, or maybe you only do 3, or you do 4. Again, you still haven't hit your original goal. So second week in January, you're already a failure. Right? And all that's going to do is eat on you and say, "Yeah, this is forget this." You know, just and most of the people are just trying to come in and do something, which again I applaud. You want to get in, but why don't you come in 3 days a week, hit it hard, okay, have a day of rest in between, start to build that endurance for working out, start to build that habit. You know, if you get that extra day, fantastic. You get 5 days, but 6 days a week you're gonna work out. No, you're not. Like I say, you don't go from 0 to 6. You just don't do it. So you got to ease into the stuff. And maybe that's the first 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. You start to build that base. You're getting some results. That's all good. Okay, then you start increasing your days or your workouts. You're going to change different things up. But the biggest thing is keep it simple and then get consistent. Because if you don't have those two things, you can't make the progress anyways. You know, you don't need all these different programs you got to do every other day and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's really just about just showing up and doing something in the beginning. So remember that if you're new to the gym and you're going and you're new working out and everything else, even your healthy eating, which we'll talk about too, just get consistent with 3 days a week. You know, get in there, get it done, and get out. You don't just spend hours or put in your 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever you're going to do. Just get the work done. I'm not going to sit here and lay out programs for you and everything else because that doesn't really matter. It's not something you're going to
It's not like you're training for Mr. Olympia or anything. You don't need to go for hours on end lifting the heaviest. Well, they don't lift the heaviest weights possible, but lifting numerous amounts of sets, and you're just going in there to get in shape.
Right. I think it really is about building a consistent habit, an effective habit. There's good habits or bad habits. Fitness can be a good one, but the fitness habit can also be bad. And you know what that is? That's the treadmill. Okay, that's a bad habit.
The treadmill.
Okay, people come in and do their 30 minutes, or their 40 minutes, or 50 minutes every day. I watch them for years on end. Nothing changes. Their body doesn't change. They don't go faster. Don't go slower. We've talked about this before. They get to catch up on their TV shows. That's all well and good. They can watch TV and check the weather and whatever else they're going to do, but they're making no progress. My recommendation to you, if you haven't ever worked out, I'm telling you, stay off the treadmill altogether. Don't do it. Do a little bit of research. Go move some weights. Move your body. Work body weight up and down. Do some squats. Do some lunges.
Some burpees.
Do some push-ups. Do some burpees. You don't need a treadmill. You don't even need the machines. You need to move your body. You can do this at home. You can even save the gym if you had to. But or if you're in a boot camp style training or something like that where they're doing a lot of that, that's great. You're going to go in and get that real effective workout. But just stay off the treadmill.
Or get a $10 jump rope from Walmart.
There you go.
Use that a couple times a week too. Even that's better than just
better.
A treadmill.
Yeah, that's an awesome tool. But leave the treadmill for those people who are going to quit in a week or two. Okay.
Those are the resolutionary machines.
Yeah,
right
they're going to be fighting over those anyways, and they're going to. That's what memberships sell. The treadmill sell memberships, and let them go get on there and just. They're going to quit in a week or two anyways, and let them take up that space, and you just bang out some burpees and some push-ups and do some squats and get done. So that's pretty much my rant
on the resolutions.
Yes, those new folks. So just from a health standpoint, from a nutrition standpoint, what I would say for the new year, and depending where you're coming from, there's that great timeline, right? You've got this end of the timeline way over here, which is say I eat out 3 times a day. Fast food and everything else. I have no concern whatsoever about what I eat, and just whatever I can stuff in my face, I do. Then there's the other end of the spectrum, which is way out over on the other side, which is I eat like twigs and leaves and stuff.
Right.
Koala bear or something. Or as I like to joke, a level 5 vegan. I don't eat anything with a shadow.
Anything with a shadow.
So something like that. But just I'm somewhere past the halfway point for myself. I'm over there, which is pretty good for me. I don't know where I'll end up, but it's a constant journey, so I always going somewhere. But you got to kind of know where you're at on that timeline, and then begin to make little changes. And our biggest thing that I talk about to people, and I advise my clients and everyone else, is start adding quality foods to your diet. I don't tell them to stop drinking soda or do this. They know that's not right. Okay, but as soon as you start to restrict people, what do?
They give up.
That's right.
They're done.
All they think about is what they have to give up. That's all they obsess on it.
And I think obviously the point you're trying to touch on too is that that's the reason that a lot of the resolutionaries will quit as well. A lot of them will just get bored of the gym or say that's too hard, but even more of them, they'll try and do the dieting aspect and say, okay, well, I know that dieting is more important, is more so than exercise, is going to help me lose that weight and live a healthier lifestyle. And the first thing they do is, okay, I'm not going to eat here anymore. I'm not going to eat this kind of food anymore. I'm not going to eat this. And then they restrict themselves so much that they like are dreaming about the certain foods. It gets to that point and they just quit because it's so hard on them.
Yeah, they put themselves in nutrition prison.
Right.
They lock themselves up and, excuse me, I'm not going to have this, I'm not going to have that. That's another thing that, just like saying you're going to come 5 days a week, okay, to the gym, you're not going to do it. I'm not going to eat pizza again. Well, why not?
Right.
Is it that awful that you're going to die if you have it again or something? You're going to, I'm never going to have that. It's just like you're going to work out 6 times a week. No, you're not. Next week you can go over to a party for New Year's or whatever it's going to be, and then boom, here you go. There's pizza there. You're not going to have it, right?
Right.
You're not going to have one piece. You're not going to eat the whole thing. Whatever the case, you got to be realistic. You got to start adding the quality food into your body because we want to nourish the body properly. And once the body's properly nourished, then your body just rejects that other food. Even from a mental state, it helps your brain actually deny yourself of that food or just say, I'm not going to have that. I'm going to pass over it. I'm going to start to eliminate it. And that's what we want to do. We want to take a nice slow process where we're moving forward little by little, getting better and better and better, kind of day by day, week by week. Sounds easy. It's not as easy as you think. But just we start out with what we've said before is live food, quality proteins, and omega-3s. Those are my 3 things, just to add into diets. And once you start adding those simple things, start to add that stuff in your diet. Those go in first, then your other food, or whatever you're calling it. If it's not really food, those are stuff you're eating. It's not even really food, but whatever you're eating, putting it in your mouth. If you can get the quality stuff in first, number one, you're going to eat less of the other food, which is a great start right there. And eventually, it's just going to push out. You're not going to have the desire for that food. That high salt content, that high sugar content, just the lack of nutrients, so the high-end processed stuff. So, that's how we want to approach that too. Is just go forward that way. Start thinking about that. Now, live food we've talked about before. That includes meat. Okay. Now,
right.
Of course, you're looking for high-quality meat. Okay. Proteins, we talk about that too. We are looking for grass-fed, organic beef or chicken, things like that. And know what they're putting into your animal. Know your farmer, so to speak. No, they're not using antibiotics all the time. They're not using growth hormones, things like that. You're looking for quality meat because that stuff makes a difference. What that cow eats, you eat. Okay, you're eating the cow's eating, what he's eating, you're getting. So just remember that. It's really, really important. It's a simple way to look at it, like, well, what are they eating? Because I'm eating it. You're just part of the food. We're at the top of the food chain here. So it matters what we're eating. When they talk about fish, the larger the fish, the higher the mercury contents in all the fish. Okay, you get down to anchovies or down to sardines and stuff, they have real low mercury because they're smaller. Because these other fish are eating all the other fish. So the larger the fish gets, the more mercury it's able to contain. And then on that food chain, pretty soon you're eating big tuna or grouper and stuff like that, you're going to tend to get a higher mercury content in those fish.
And I think what helps is, like I'm at the beginning stages of where you're at right now. I don't eat I haven't eaten fast food in quite a while now. No pop in ages and stuff like that. But when I started, even it was harder than it is now. And once I get to your point, hopefully it'll get even easier. And I feel like that's what you're trying to say too, is that your body just naturally rejects the stuff that you don't even have a craving for certain things anymore. Like I know that I don't have a craving. I don't feel like, oh, I'm hungry, I want to go have a Big Mac. And back when I was eating fast food, college and everything, that's what I wanted to do. I was hungry and I'd be like, oh, I want to go to Burger King and get a burger and something. Now it's like, oh, I'm hungry. Do we have any fruit or any vegetables or anything? Stuff like that. That kind of it's weird how your body naturally changes without you even knowing it. And then your cravings change too.
Right. Yeah. I posted the other day on our Facebook page about when you're having these cravings, what your body's really craving. Whether it's sugar or chocolate, it really wants magnesium. There's a whole list of stuff. So it's kind of interesting when you look at it that way because you go, oh, Because how do you get your magnesium in your diet? So if you're doing the right whole food supplements, you can start like, okay, look at this. Why do I always crave the chocolate? Why do I always crave the salty stuff? Well, this you've got a deficiency. You've got a nutrient deficiency. So, wow, if you can get a really high quality whole food supplement that's going to supplement that magnesium or whatever it might be, start getting at it, and actually then you can actually see if those cravings change and they come down. And that's pretty cool because when you start to know that stuff, again, knowledge is power, especially in the area of nutrition and health. Okay, it takes a little work. It takes some researchers kind of keeping it in the forefront all the time. Like every day I study this stuff. Every day I read another article. I look at this. I compare things and do that. So that's what's helped me on my journey. But people, again, when you start finding out what are the causes for these things, why your insulin levels are spiked up. Because that's a hormone. Again, that's something that controls the body in a big way, and you've got to get that under control and regulate that. And once you're able to do that, all those cravings for Big Macs and all sorts of stuff that's laden with sugar and salt and everything else starts to go away. That's a big plus.
And I feel like a problem with a lot of the people that are just starting out with nutrition, their biggest problem is, trying to, do studies and look for new information. They don't really know where to start. So my advice, what I actually started doing, and I still actually do now, is I'll take something that I'm eating right now or drinking at that moment if it's bottled, anything like that, and I'll go through the ingredients list and I'll just type those ingredients into Google and I'll see what they're good for or what they're bad for, if there's side effects of them, and then I know, if I see that again, I'm like, oh, well, I want to stay away from that. That I'm not trying to, have the side effects of that, so I'm going to stay away from it. Or, oh, I really need a lot more of this in my diet because, certain things like that. So I think that's a good starting point for, I guess, beginners in the nutrition field, So.
Right, yeah, like, some simple things I tell people, just when you're looking at ingredients, and some of them, of course, are synthetic, chemical, whatever, but they end in OSE, sucrose, fructose. You don't want to have it. If they end in ATE, so things like that, you start looking at that and you go, well, okay, those things usually just basically, we've said before, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it.
Right.
That's one thing. But if you've seen OSEs or ATEs at the end of words, those, just put them back on the shelf.
And always concentrate over isolate, right? Well, usually it's concentrate over isolate.
Right. As far as protein supplements,
protein, yeah.
You'll see there's protein isolates, and you really want a protein concentrate. We've talked about this before. Protein isolates they're what's called putrid protein. Say that 3 times fast.
Right.
Putrid protein. So in long-term effect, it's really bad, especially with the soy and everything else you'll see. But we'll touch on that in a little more detail on another podcast. But yeah, it's really starting to look at it. Like what I'm drinking here. This stuff. This is called Dandy Blend. It's actually dandelion root, chicory root, a little bit of beet. It's instant. It's a powder. It's all dry. It's gluten-free. There's no caffeine, no acidity. Fantastic. If you're a coffee drinker and you want to make a transition, I've got this stuff is really fantastic, and I've been on it for quite a while now, and I just love it. But yes, Jake has the package. But this is what it is.
Dandy Blend.
So
just
really
looks
good.
like that. It comes in the little single packets too, right? That you can
Yeah,
the instant packages too.
There's the bulk size, stuff like that. You can get it from.
Do we get advertisement money for that? No.
But
Okay.
I like them so. Goosefoot Acres is who it's from. If you go to goosefootacres.com, you can actually order this stuff. It's really, it's fantastic. I really like it. Some people it takes a little adjusting, but you can make little lattes out of it or whatever. And again, you don't have the caffeine, you don't have the acidity, any of that kind of stuff. Gluten free, the whole deal if you're into that. So, very cool.
Or you can just go to dandyblend.com. It looks like too.
Oh yeah,
You can get it right online, dandyblend.com.
it's good.
Took me a while to get used to it, but kind of like it now. It's got a very if you like black coffee, I feel like you'll be just fine with this because that's pretty much exactly what it tastes like. A little more earthy.
Yeah, it's a little earthy. Yeah,
but
black coffee drinkers still have a little bit here and there, but for the most part, that's how it is. So, but there's little things like that. You start adding that kind of stuff into your diet. Again, you're getting dandelion root into your diet. How else you get your dandelion root? Okay, it's really good for you. So it's a great way to get that into your diet. So there's a lot of little tricks like that you can still keep the enjoyment of having a hot beverage for breakfast or during the day or whatever, and you're getting away from the caffeine buzz and all that stuff. Because we all know that, or should I give my caffeine? Have I done my caffeine definition?
The caffeine? No, I don't even think
Okay.
have I heard
So
of it.
we might as well do that since we're being totally random today.
Yeah, this is
If this was
random.
a cup of coffee, okay, here's my cup of coffee here. If this was that, first thing I ask people, is there energy in this cup?
Oh, right.
Okay, so they bring in a cup of coffee, are you drinking your energy? Because you get a caffeine buzz or whatever from having your coffee. So is there energy in that cup? And the answer is
No.
right. The answer is no. What does caffeine do? Where does the energy come from? How do you get a lift from drinking coffee or caffeine? Okay, see like that. You get a buzz. Here's how it works. Caffeine actually extracts your own energy from your muscles in your liver. Okay, so real simply put, it's taking it from your muscles in your liver and creating energy. So it's using the energy you already have to give you more energy. So best way I ever heard it described was like it's being like the unwise spender. You got a lot of cash in your hand, you start spending, buying whatever you want, just keep going. Pretty soon what happens? It's all gone, right?
Yeah, no money
The
left.
money's gone. It's the same thing with energy, and that's what's called chronic fatigue. All right, so you keep drinking coffee, have another one, you keep drinking. Pretty soon there's no energy left to take from your body, so at 3 in the afternoon you're dead. You're dead, tired.
I didn't realize how much chronic fatigue actually, how many people it affects. I actually have a couple friends even that like have that, and they just, I mean, after 2 p.m., 3 p.m., they're done. They shut down. They can't do anything.
And how old
It's
are they?
Yeah, and they're my age. They're 19, 20 years old. It's crazy.
They're kids. Should never be out of energy.
I know.
But they are. They're dying. They got to have another one. I mean, if you watch the line at Starbucks and stuff, it picks up again at the drive-through at 3, 4 o'clock. People are continuing. They got to pick up again. They started with that big, giant thing in the morning. Maybe a little bit at work, and then by 2, 3 o'clock they're dragging out. I went through the same thing. I always had a cup with me. By 3 o'clock I want to take a nap.
Right.
8, 9 o'clock at night I had to be in bed. I'll tell you that as soon as I gave up caffeine, I quit cold turkey, and I was up to 11, 12 o'clock at night without caffeine. Just like, man, I am awake.
Right.
This is fantastic. I'm not tired. This was in the first 3, 4 days. By the second week, I'm like, this is amazing. So I totally stayed off for about 6 years.
How do you go cold turkey on? Like, does it? I don't know.
I just stopped.
So no coffee, no.
I was working at a client just started telling me about coffee. He just, his wife had, actually it was a really cool story. His wife had MS, got diagnosed with MS. So she went 100% raw, all raw foods, that whole thing.
Right.
Less than 2 years later, not one symptom of MS.
Wow.
Completely gone. All right, totally curious. So he started talking about coffee and what it did and how it made him grumpy this time of day. I'm like, man, that sounds like me. So I didn't drink it again. I mean, that was like, I was talking to him at his house. I just never made another cup for like 6 years.
Wow.
I just stayed off and I felt awesome. I had 6 little kids at that time. Just all that stuff was happening. I was dying anyway. So, just from fatigue, and then that really helped me. So, some people go cold turkey. Some people got to wean themselves off. I'll tell you, 1 cup of coffee a day is not a big deal.
So if I go cold turkey right now, how long would it take before I can expect results? Like seeing that I have more energy and feeling like I have more energy.
Well, depending on how much you're drinking currently, you're going to go through withdrawals and headaches and everything else. And that may last 2 days, maybe last 5 days, 6 days. Most people don't even get past that point on the caffeine withdrawal thing. But the energy-wise, you should feel good within 4, 5, 6 days.
Oh, okay.
You should feel that whole change, especially if you increase your water intake at the same time.
Right.
The good thing about this Dandy Blend, it helps that transition, it helps minimize the headaches and all that stuff too. So as you kind of detox from caffeine, this is a great little supplement to help ease that whole transition period. So I really like it. It's just good stuff. There's other things you can have. The benefit of tea, people talk about tea over coffee. Yes, there's caffeine in tea, but there's tons more benefits in tea, antioxidant wise, everything else. And again, comes down to the quality of your tea.
Right. Certain places I don't want to slander any names here, but certain places, the pesticide levels in it was just ridiculous.
They're just loaded with pesticides. I mean, remember, this is a plant. Tea is a plant. So you start thinking about that. They're spraying on it. They're cutting the leaves. They're chopping them. Even some whole leaf stuff. I mean, then it comes down to your bags. The bags are of plastic and this and that. And you're dipping that in hot water and everything else. So, like I said, you can go crazy with the stuff. All right. So, first thing we do is start to make the transition.
Right.
Okay, and then we start to improve the quality of what we're doing. Okay, like live food. Yeah, you can go organic, and that should be the ultimate goal. But initially, just get the live food. Just get in the produce department, please.
Right.
You know, I mean, don't think because it's not organic, you're not going to eat it, so you're going to keep eating the stuff out of a box. Okay, that just doesn't make any sense. All right, just get into the produce section, start getting live food in. Worry about the quality, stepping up the next notch of quality on that a little bit later. Right now, get in the habit, learn how to cook with it, learn how to prepare it, learn how to eat it, learn how to get in your body and start feeling that difference in your body. That would say would be the number one step, is to get out and do that. Then you can get into juicing, and you can get, it just goes on forever, as you'll see from our podcast. But I got to tell you, I see so much out there that's just, it's just phony health.
Mm-hmm. Like you said before, I think we said this in the previous video. If it says healthy on the package, it's not healthy.
Yeah, that's so true. And even that, you're drinking this stuff, these bottled juices. Just don't buy them. Just don't drink them. It's a complete waste of money. There's nothing in them.
Isn't it? I mean, most nutrients, no matter what it is, if they're in like a juice form, they're gonna die within half of it dies within 24 hours, doesn't it?
Yeah.
More than half,
more
or
than half in 24 hours in the juice.
So you think those juices that you're buying at Walmart, at a gas station, think about how long that bottle's been sitting there. You're not drinking any. There's no nutrients in that. What it says on that bottle is in there. All those nutrients. That's when it was bottled. How much was in there? That's not how much is in there currently.
Exactly. You get the same thing. Again, being a little random here on talk about probiotics. And stuff you take, you can get them in capsule form, you get them in a liquid form that's refrigerated, you go there, it's a lot more money. But when you look in the box, the potency of that probiotic is when it left, is when they packaged it, not when it left the factory. It's not guaranteed after that. So depending on how it was shipped, how it was stored, whether it stayed refrigerated or got heated, you could have billions less of those active bacteria and stuff in them, and you're not really getting your money. So for me, my best is going to capsule form to get the highest potency and everything else. But again, we'll get into more detail on that stuff when we get our nutrition supplement people in here.
Right.
But yeah, it's when you're in the produce section, you're just getting the stuff, and you see those juices. I would definitely just stay away from bottled juices. Okay, all that's really left is a little bit of color and taste and sugar.
And sugar, lots of sugar.
That's all that's about left with that. And some add sugar, some don't, but there's no nutrients left in that stuff. So just stay away from it. Just stick to water.
Water is so good for you.
But yeah, you can get into that. But yeah, that's really good. Or if you're going to extract juices freshly yourself and drink them for the day, that's really good. That's what I do.
Which is not easy to try and start with. It takes a while to actually get into it, because I'm still just starting with the juicing. He's been doing it for forever.
I think it's because he's lazy, but that's me. No, it's not true.
That is completely false.
Juicing is kind of the next level that you're going to go to. I cook.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I'll cook with juice too. So I'll do carrot juice and soups and stuff like that. That's great to make it. So you take a few pounds of carrots and you make a few cups of carrot juice to add to your soups and stuff, and that's really good. So that's all out there to be had too. So
what's the next topic? The next random topic we can talk about for this podcast? This wonderful,
we're almost done.
Almost New Year's podcast. Almost done.
Yeah.
No.
New Year's.
This should be a special, because it's the New Year's Christmas special.
That's right.
Because we're late.
Right.
If in case you guys haven't noticed, we're a little bit late with this one.
Yeah, Jack's a slacker.
I'm the slacker. I had
guy.
Christmas stuff to do.
Right.
A holly jolly Christmas.
I would say that we talked a little bit about it. Your biggest thing just going forward for the new year is I don't want to say be reasonable, be realistic. I learned a while back from a mentor of mine about being unreasonable, the difference between unreasonable and unrealistic. Here's unrealistic. I'm going to lose 100 pounds by 2 weeks.
Oh, that's easy. I do that all the time.
Okay, that's being unrealistic. Okay, being unreasonable is something that's going to push you and make you work hard. Like say, hey, I'm going to drop 20 pounds in the next month. Okay, That could be unreasonable to some people, but it's obtainable. If you stay unreasonable with yourself, okay, you're going to constantly be challenging yourself, force yourself to work and stay focused. That's to be, I want to put in extra hours at work. It's unreasonable to work, 60 hours a week. I normally work 45, but hey, I got a project, I got a goal I want to reach in the next 3 weeks, so I'm going to work 60 hours a week. That's unreasonable, but it's doable. To say you're going to work 130 hours a week, that'd be unrealistic.
Right.
Okay, so that's the difference, So you want to set what we'll call them unreasonable goals, realistic but unreasonable goals. How does that sound for confusing?
So what's your since we're on the topic of New Year's resolutions, what's your New Year's resolution? You got one? How about that standing amp rollout? That'll be coming quick, so
Yes.
gotta come up with a different one for the year.
Well, I've got 4.
All right, 4. What do we
I
got?
have 4 for 2014.
All right, what do you got?
One is 10 standing amp rollouts
All
on the
right.
wheel. It's not on the physical end. I got 10 handstand push-ups.
Okay.
I've got 10 pistols, which is a single leg squat per leg.
Right.
And I've got my 100 straight push-ups.
So the big 4.
The big 4.
The big 4.
I want to complete the big 4. Nail all that for 2014. That's my only physical goal I have.
Wow. That's demanding.
Yes, but it's is that unreasonable?
I feel that's unreasonable.
It'll be tough. So it's perfect. It's not unrealistic. I can do it, no problem. I got a year, so it's going to be good. So that's what I got.
Year.
Other goals, mine would be in business as we grow our gyms here. We're going to open 3 more gyms next year, which is fantastic for us.
Grow the podcast as well.
Right, we're going to grow the podcast. So we've got the podcast. We've got Growing AmboWorks, our boot camp fitness gyms.
Right.
We're going to open 3 more locations next year. So that's for 2014. That's good.
Any other ones?
It's going to fill up my year pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that'll keep you pretty busy.
If you get any more than that, then I'm going to get into unrealistic categories.
Right.
You only keep so much stuff in the forefront. You only focus on 2 or 3 things in the front of my mind here. At least I am. That's one of my limits. How about
Right.
you?
Well, business aspect, I'm just looking to just stay with you and help grow this business as big as we can in the next year. I know we got our set goals, what we want to do so far, and hopefully we can. I know we can reach them, but hopefully we can go past them. Is what I'm thinking. And try and just exceed our limit of what we have. And then physically, I'm getting that muscle up this year. I'm gonna get 10 of them, muscle ups.
Excellent.
I'm gonna do I got the human flag, so I can't really add that one. I'm more time on the human flag. I want to hold the human flag for longer, and I'm actually gonna start focusing now on a lot more of the calisthenics workouts. I'm gonna be doing all that, so body weight exercises, all that good stuff, because it just looks cool, and I want to look cool. Well, I'm in the business of narcissism, and I want to be a narcissist, so I'm going to be.
Right. Yes.
It's the only reason I have a Facebook, because I'm a narcissist, and I want to post pictures so people like them.
Right.
That's a different topic.
I don't. Those are good. Yeah, it's a lot of work to be done in 2014. So it's going to be a fantastic year, I think, for everyone involved here. But we're doing our Kickstarter too. We got a Kickstarter program
Yes.
kicking off here in
Look
November,
out!
so.
Look out for that. We'll be posting links. We'll probably post them on the YouTube page. We're gonna definitely post them on our Facebook page, Twitter, all that good stuff. So look out for those. The smallest donations help. You get cool gifts with them. You'll see all the gifts that you get for each donation and everything. So, like we said, even the littlest donation helps us at this point. We just want to make this podcast better for you guys. We want to bring you the most information we can, and we also want the technology.
Quality.
Yeah, exactly, with the highest quality.
Kickstarter, in case you don't know, Kickstarter is a cool, like a donation site basically for
A crowdfunding.
Yeah. What is it?
Crowdfunding.
Crowdfunding.
Yes.
That sounds awesome. But what it does is gives little startups things like this. Like we want better cameras, we want better
Mics.
better mics and mixers and things, so that again, high quality audio's coming to you. Better, we don't have the
little glare up here, up
which
there.
is not just from my head.
No.
It's actually just from our poor camera. But
Right.
Kickstarter, you get anywhere from $5 donations on up to whatever, and we have it all laid out, and we'll let you know when we're going to launch that in the next week or so, and let people know. We'll be up for about 30 days, and people can donate. We're going to raise a little bit of money so we can get new equipment and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking for everyone's support, just to help us with that, so we can get this better and keep bringing this great information out to you on a kind of a grander scale, so we can get more guests in here.
Right.
Again, and just bring you more and more information, and keep this really relevant and current.
And bring you HD quality filming
Yes.
and all that
Have
stuff.
you seen this head in HD?
Oh
It's
man, you could see your face off of it.
It'll be awesome. No more shine.
No more
But
polish.
it'll be good. So that's another thing for 2014. So we got a lot going. It's going to be good. I think it's going to be very, very excellent.
And we hope you guys continue to take this ride with us and watch us grow. And then you'll be like, oh, I remember watching their first 2 videos or 3 videos when the audio was so low that my headphones could barely catch the audio.
Right. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Just share this with your friends and stuff, and kind of get them on, checking in, subscribing, and all that neat stuff to help us grow this, because it's a big part of what we're doing. I think getting the information out to people. Our gym is great. We love people. It's good on a local level for us. As we grow that's fantastic.
And we love,
reach around the world.
right? And we love also. We would love for you guys to interact. Like with comments on our Facebook, on our YouTube. We'll post them right here at the bottom of the video. We'll, if you have questions, comments, different things you've heard about nutrition or exercise, anything along that, we love to comment on that and interact with you guys. We like to break the fourth wall in theater? Is it breaking the fourth wall?
Perhaps.
I think that's what it is, because you have 1, 2, 3 walls. Breaking the fourth wall is the audience.
Right. That's it. Very good. But that would be good, because in questions, stuff like that, you want to shoot out some questions for us. I love to address some topics on pretty much anything, the health, nutrition thing, physical stuff. That's all good. We just give us some ammo.
We're here to help you guys,
Yeah.
not just to sit here and talk.
We've got good resources.
Yes.
I can tap into stuff. I've got some experience in this, which is really great. And again, also our quality guests and stuff, and we can have stuff for them ready to go. And I think it'll be real informative for everybody. You can pass this information along to people. So that's what I think I've got here for.
I think
today.
that's the random podcast for the day up until the new year, right? I don't think we have one coming out before the new year.
The day after.
Right. So happy New Year's to all of you, and happy late Christmas.
Yeah, really Merry Christmas to everyone, man. Hopefully it's just fantastic, and we are really looking forward to 2014. So stay with us, keep checking in, watch all of them, subscribe, and do fantastic. All the links and everything are on
Right.
this, right?
Yes.
So you can just, make it official.
One last thing, I just thought about this actually. This would be kind of cool, keep you guys motivated. What would be awesome is if you guys have a New Year's resolution of getting in shape and living a healthier lifestyle, send us a story, or even better, send us a picture of your before, and then just keep sending us like your transformation a couple months in, 3 months in, 6 months in, stuff like that, and we would love to share those with the rest of the audience. And I feel like it'll keep you guys motivated too, just to, oh, look, this is somebody to show off to. Like I said, this is narcissism. Even if you don't want to say it is, you like to show off. You like to show off your new body or your new lifestyle, so we're here to look at it.
Yeah, we're trainers. At the very core, we're trainers, and we're businessmen and stuff too. But we're trainers. We love to help people. Our whole business is based on helping people get healthy.
Yep.
So as we go through that, and I'd love to share. I just want you to share it with us. So we'll post your pictures if you want people to see them.
And even if you don't want us to post them, if you just want to show us, just put a little comment saying, I'd rather not share this with everybody else, but here's what I've done so far. That's cool too. It's awesome. We love it all.
Yeah,
So
just share the story. Let us know what you're going through, and just going forward, so we can inspire other people, because that's what it's really about. Just like we're doing here. If you're sharing it with people, we want to inspire other people. We want people to really get healthy. And it's a pretty incredible wave. It's starting out real slow. It's like the tsunami.
right.
You just got a little bump in the ocean. But man, as it gets closer and closer to the shore, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what we're doing here with the health aspect. And I think as more people share their stories and start to get into that real health and make those quality lifestyle changes, people are going to see that and be inspired, knowing that they can do it too. Because
Right.
I've been heavy, I've been light, I've been everything myself. So I mean, I can relate from that standpoint. And I'm so glad. One last thing I talked about this last Christmas, I was telling Jake earlier that I used to be able to just gorge on all that bad food. I mean, I'd get sick, but it would take me
Right.
like a day and a half. Then I was like, oh man, I finally reached my tipping point. But this has been like my favorite holiday season because it hasn't taken much. Yeah, I've dipped into a few cookies, done a little of that. I tell you what, didn't like it. My body didn't like it. It's like, man, I got like heartburn, which I haven't had in years. I got that in like, I don't know, after a couple hours of nibbling on a couple little things, and I'll give you the number one heartburn trick. You ever get it? Forget the Tums, forget the Rolaids, everything else. Apple cider vinegar and a little bit of water, a tablespoon and about a couple ounces of water. Drink that down. It's like a hose on a fire. The stuff is out instantly and goes away. All natural cure, done. Okay, so if you're suffering from that at all, try that, man. It's fantastic. So, but that was really, for me, it was great. I'm like, man, I'm getting sick from this stuff so fast. This is awesome.
Right.
It's really
It's
good.
weird to hear him say that, but
Right, but at the same thing, I'm also didn't have that big desire to continue. I used to force through even that sickness and keep eating this stuff. But it really was from getting truly nourished in my body over these past few years, especially. I've now the cravings are gone because those nutrients have replaced those cravings.
right.
So they satisfy my body. And I kind of, it took a while to really believe that. So know that as you go through this stuff, this isn't like, hey, I ate some magnesium and I don't want chocolate anymore. It doesn't really work that way. Okay, you didn't get unhealthy in a day or two or in one meal. You got it over years or months or years and years. So know that's going to take a little bit of time, but man, it works. It's really, really awesome. So it really gives you something to look forward to. So that's it. That's all I got.
I think that's all I got too. So
All right, have a really blessed New Year.
make sure to like us on Facebook,
Yes.
subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter, even all that stuff, all the social networking. We pretty much got it down pat. We'll put links at the bottom of the video on our YouTube page and stuff too. So just
Let's
make
get
sure
it
you
done.
do.
Happy New Year to you guys, man. We'll talk again in a week.
Happy New Year.